This is how you knit a folded picot edge. First, I'm going to change to a slightly smaller needle size, and I'm going to do that just while I'm knitting. And the first thing I'm doing is to knit a section of stockinette for as long as your pattern tells you to, and I am knitting 2.5 centimeters. Now I have knitted those 2.5 centimeters, and I put a stitch marker here so you can see where I started. So now I'm going to knit the row that creates the picot shape. So I'm first going to knit 2 stitches together, then yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, and I will just keep going like this. If you are working in the round, you will just do this until that round is done. And if you are knitting just a row like I am, you will keep doing this until you have 1 stitch left, as long as you have an odd number of stitches on your needle. Now I have 3 stitches left, so I'm going to finish with a knit 2 together, yarn over, and then I'm just going to knit the final stitch. So now the work looks like this, and on the next row I will just purl all of my stitches, and of course if you're working in the round you will just keep knitting all of your stitches, including the yarn overs. And now I will work another 2.5 centimeters of stockinette. Now I have knit another 2.5 centimeters measured from this picot row, and I'm gonna bind off all of my stitches. And now when I'm breaking the yarn, I will make sure to leave enough of a tail to use that to sew this fold in place. Because now we are going to fold the hem like this, so you get this very neat picot edge. And we are going to sew the fold in place on the wrong side. When you do this, make sure that the fold happens in exactly the right place, so you don't get a picot looking either like this or just hidden like this. You want the fold to happen right on top of these stitches that you knit together. So I am going to thread my needle, fold the edge, and start sewing. When I'm sewing it in place, I am first going through one of the stitches on this part of the fabric. Then I'm going back through one of the stitches I bound off, and then through the stitch right next to it. Now to keep the fold even all the way across, I want to find the purled stitch right next to the one I just went through, which was this one. So I'm trying to follow the same row all the way across. So since the last one I went through was this one, I will now go through this one. And then repeat that with the stitch right next to that one. I am going through the bound of stitch that is next to the one I went through last time, which was this one. So now I'm going through this one. And then back out through the stitch right next to that one again. Finding the correct purl stitch, which is this one, because the last one I went through was here. So I'm just going right over to this one. And then I will keep working like that all the way across. And that is your folded picot edge.